Welcome to Quick Shots, a short format traditional archery podcast, where we introduce you to some of the world's most influential traditional archers, and occasionally, some random dudes. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, archerypass.com, for all your traditional archery needs.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Quick Shots. I'm your host, Mick Chambers. I'm here with Billy Sanderson from Canada. Hey Billy, how are you doing? Thanks for doing this on such short notice, by the way.
Hey, no worries. Any chance, get to talk about my passion, archery. Love it.
So I'm obviously filming from somewhere different. I am up in Canada, and I had Calvin Smock reach out to me and go, dude, if you're in Canada, why are you not interviewing Billy? Like that guy's, and I was like, why would he want that? And then look at that. Look at this shirt on you. Like,
oh, there it is. You got my name on there?
Yeah, look at CD Archery, WF. Look at Team Shooter. Oh my gosh.
Jersey, I'm with somebody.
So I get to talk to a lot of American archers because I'm down in the US. I got to know them, and there's Barebow boot camps coming up this weekend too, so which is going to be kind of cool. Single string boot camp. So it's going to be in Ohio. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you. Like, so as soon as you told me, I stalked you on Instagram, of course, and took a look at all the stuff that you're doing, which is pretty awesome. I mean, you hold some Canadian records. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute here, but why don't you introduce yourself and just tell us who you are and how you got into archery?
Yeah. So my name is Billy Sanderson. I'm living in Victoria, BC, Canada right now. It's been a fun ride for me the last couple of years. Origin story. Is this the origin story time?
Yeah, yeah. How'd you get started? Then we're gonna get into all this really cool stuff that you've just done. So yeah. Where'd you start off? How'd you start shooting?
Yeah, I started shooting my late teens. I was dating a girl back in the day, and she was a Canadian national champion. She'd won the Arizona Cup as a teenager. Amazing shooter, and we started dating, and her family was like, well, if you're going to be dating our daughter, you got to pick up archery. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to be an archer. Neat. So I picked it up right away, and they started teaching me, coaching me. I'd be going down for practice with them all the time, and I was able to get into the JOP, which is the Junior Olympic program. I was in that for about a year or two, and then my first year I won the JOP indoor gold medal and the outdoor gold medal in my first year. So I picked it up pretty quick. I just got right in and absolutely fell in love with the process of archery. Just the whole mental aspect of having a focus, having a repeatable motion that you're just living and owning every minute of every shot. So it got me hooked right then. So it's been like 23 years now. And then I decided to take a bit of a break through my 20s and 30s for a little bit. And when I moved to Victoria back in 2017, I heard they had an archery club here, the Victoria Bowman. So I looked it up and was like, I got all my old gear. I'm ready to get going. So signed up and started shooting right away. And that was compound. Mm-hmm. So I've been shooting compound and really enjoyed it. I did a couple of the provincial championships here, and I was shooting better than I had when I was younger, but not up to the same caliber of all the people we have in BC here. And I was just getting bored of it. The compound end of things was right. It was fun, but when you're hitting that dime, at a 18-meter distance, it was just getting boring. So I was like, I want to try something fun and different. So I was like, why didn't I go complete opposite end? And I'm going to shoot wooden longbow, wooden arrows. So I did that next BC indoor championships. That would have been 2019. I competed in compound and longbow. And I ended up winning the longbow gold medal for the BC indoor provincial championships. So I'm like, oh, okay, I think I like this. So it was a lot of fun. And from that, it was like, well, I really love longbow, but I want more. I miss the tweaking and the tuning and all the little stuff. So I started to research, and I'm like, oh, what's this Barebow thing I see a lot of people talking about? We had a couple guys at our club that had Barebows, but like the basic kind of Barebow, like just literally everything stripped off their Olympic bow. And I was like, I like it, but I want more. And that's when I had my first glimpse of like a CD bow. So for me, I was like, what is this gorgeous piece of metal? Like just angles and weight and the balance and how everything was set up. So I told myself, okay, if I can get shooting a certain score for indoor scores, that's going to be my treat, of
Yeah.
shooting scores is buying myself a full on, competition rig. So I went with the CDWF 29XO. So it's the biggest unit you can get. My bow, the way I've got it set right now with a full 1 pound Yost weight on the front, and then the extra 11-ounce balance weight that CD gives you, I'm sitting at 8.5 pounds for my bow weight for mass weight. It's big, but it's comfortable for me, So, I train at the gym quite a bit. So for me, I need that mass weight to feel stable. I've
Yeah.
tried when I shoot my longbow, it's just it's
I know
all
it's
over
so
the
light.
place.
It's like such a different world when you can pick up a longbow from that CD riser. It's just
Totally.
crazy. It's
I absolutely
crazy.
love it. So for me, this weekend at the indoor championships, it was fun because I was shooting both of my risers there at the indoor championships. So that was kind of my origin story. I had to I made a decision a couple of years. It would have been 2.5 years ago now that I really wanted to see what I could do with archery and see where I could go with it. So I was actually a chef for the last 27 years, and
Oh, okay. Okay.
so I knew being a chef, I was never going to be able to compete on the weekends for everything that I wanted to do. I wanted to see really how far I could go with archery, how many competitions I could get into, if I could break national records. And I knew I couldn't do that as a chef. So I quit my career as a chef so I could compete more in archery. My 27-year career, a great paying job. I completely changed my careers. I'm still in the industry. I run a showroom for a company called Russell Hendricks, the restaurant equipment supply company. So
Right.
I'm still dealing with all the same stuff. I've used all the equipment, I've done it all. I've played with all the ovens, all the equipment, but I knew it was going to afford me the Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, weekends off, stat holidays, long weekends, where I can go travel and compete in all these seminars and competitions and everything. So I completely decided to change my whole entire life for archery, and so far it's going pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I didn't know anything about you before we got on this until you just told me everything about you. Really, just
Right.
that you don't brag. You're not very braggy online, and you're kind of you're really humble
Thank you.
online, and so that's amazing because yeah, you know what they always talk. We always say, in Barebow is you put in the work, right? You got to put
Yeah.
in the reps. You got to put in the work. Don't expect results without putting in the work, dude. You are like you're giving up work and career and just to be this at the level you're at. So,
Yeah.
is there more for you? Do you have more coming or?
Lots more. I got lots more coming. I had a total of 16 tournaments planned on my schedule when I started the season, whether they're local, provincial, national tournaments. And then big goal for me is the national team tryout for shooting for Team Canada Barebow in the 3Ds in Terni, Italy in September. So I got a tryout spot for the team. So that tournament's going to be in Lac La Biche in the middle of June. So I'll be heading out to Alberta to compete for a spot on the Canadian national team. So
That's amazing. Good luck to you. I mean, that's so cool.
yeah,
Do you? Sorry. Do you? Is this your first tryout for the Team Canada?
this will be. Yeah, like for me, I got into 3D back in 2019. I saw it and I had a couple of buddies that said it was fun. So I was like, okay, I'll have a look at this. It's neat. I can hike and I can shoot at the same
Right.
time.
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
that's like the best of both worlds for me, getting to go out hiking and shooting, right? So I went and tried. We have a local tournament on the island here called the Hellhole through the Cowichan Bowman. And
Mhm.
it really is a hellhole of a tournament because you're up and down steep, huge hills, really long shots, like tough technical shots. And I had never shot a 3D tournament before or even shot at a 3D target. I had just been practicing on the range because we didn't have any 3D animals set up. And I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then I see it and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? Like a life-size bear while I'm hiking around in the woods. Like, it blew my mind. I was like, oh my God. So my first tournament, I got paired up with a couple of guys, James and Lindsay, who I shoot with all the time now. And they were like, this is your first tournament? Like, oh geez, because they could see just my passion and excitement, and that I was doing pretty good. They both got me that round, but we've had a few good tournaments back and forth between those guys, and
That's
they
cool.
really kind of sparked that flame for me for 3D. So I got them to thank for the getting really into 3D and making a real good run of this.
So when we're out west in the US, they shoot crazy distances. Are
Yeah.
you guys shooting crazy distances too? And
Barebow, we get 3 to 35 pretty much for meters.
oh, all
So
right. So that's the same as normal. That's like IBO
yeah.
3D shooting. Okay, cool. Okay. But yours, I mean, you're in a really hilly, like mountainous area, right? And it's got to be uphill shots, downhill shots, pretty crazy
Yeah.
ones, right?
Lots of really steep inclines, declines. Hellhole has this one shot where you're standing on a cliff and it's probably 4 meters straight down and maybe 1 meter in front. Yeah.
How do you shoot that? How do you shoot that? I don't even know.
Over top of it like
Yeah.
this, trying to get it was so fun. And like it's seriously one of all of our favorite targets because it's hiding around the corner. It's that next target and it's over the edge. We're all looking for it. We're like, where is this target? We're standing at the peg and we're like, oh
Look
yeah.
down.
Are you kidding me? Like
Wow.
we're looking at this thing, we're like, how? So of course
Yeah.
I'm taking extra shots on this one, like it's an absolute blast.
That's
So
pretty
that's
cool, man.
why it's the hellhole. You're up and down, lots of trees too, because we got a lot of forest on the island here. There's lots of deep, dense wood. There's lots of great overshots, past rocks, through narrow trees. So that's what I practice. I practice, set up my shots as crazy as I can. It's like, what's the craziest shot I can think of? Okay, I got a 25-meter shot and I've got a foot and a half. So you start thinking about the arrow paradox where it's going to wiggle.
Yeah.
Is the wiggle going to make it through those trees? Like the archer's
Yeah.
paradox is fun. Yet when you have to start thinking about that to take an account for your shot, man, so much fun.
So it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful country out there. If you haven't been to British Columbia, just in general, it's beautiful. On the island, it's freaking gorgeous, right? It's gorgeous. And great places to eat on the island too. I don't know where you work, but there's a lot of great places. That's so crazy that you were a chef and now you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to work for this company, other company, but
Yeah, I like
pretty
to think
amazing. I love your dedication and commitment to Barebow. It's fantastic. Hey, okay, so we kind of know. All right. So I need to know about your equipment. We know you got a WF. What was it? WF 19. You're shooting a WF 19. Was that it? 19. Oh, 29. Oh, 29. That makes more sense.
Yeah, it's huge. Like my full rig when I shoot for 3D and for target, it's a 72-inch bow. I've got the Uka SX Plus limbs. I was like one of the first in Canada to get a set when they released them. Would have been just over a year and a half ago now. They're 46-pound limbs, 68-inch mediums. So, I sit at 72-inch overall length with them, and I'm pulling right now for indoor 40.2 pounds off the finger.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's with my I got the sponsorship through 60X custom bowstrings as well too. So I'm shooting their fast flight strings, the 452 fast flights on there, 18 strand. Beautiful string to work with, really consistent. That's what I like about their gear. 29-inch riser, 8.5 pounds mass weight on my bow. So it's a beefy bow, but it sits so soft in your hand. Not everybody might agree with that. I went down to the Barebow Project seminar in Reno
Yeah.
with Frank McDonough.
Yeah.
And had an absolute blast down there. But the first thing he did when he grabbed my bow was he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And Frank,
and he's a big dude. He's a big dude too. He's not small. He's not small.
No, he's not a small guy at all. So he's like, "Dude, you got to take some weight off this thing." So I listened to Frank. Frank's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. So I took some weight off, mass weight off the bow, and worked out the gym harder. So
okay, arrows. What's your arrow setup? Indoor, outdoor, 3D?
yeah, I just got on with Killing Sticks arrows out of Alberta there. I picked them up, or they picked me up as a sponsor just 3 weeks ago, I guess now.
Yeah.
And I told them, hey, you guys, I love your stuff. I want to get shooting these for the BC Championships coming up in the middle of April there. Can you guys get me gear quick enough that I can have it fully set up, get enough practice rounds in, and shoot it confidently at the tournament? And Calvin was like, yep, no problem at all. And I'm like, dude, perfect. Ordered the arrows on Monday. They were at my house on Thursday.
Dude, I don't even know who they are. Is that weird? Am I being weird? I'm sorry, but I don't. Do they ship internationally?
You got her everything. There's my plug. Killing Sticks.
Killing Sticks.
Premium carbon arrow. The best thing I like about them is the spine consistency, the overall straightness of them. They're 1,000th. They're down to 1,000th for straightness.
Oh, nice.
That's amazing. It's such a smooth arrow. I set them up, and literally my first couple of shots off them with bear shafting, perfect. I was like, what? I'm used to taking two hours, kind of play around, fidget a little adjustments here and there. I threw them in my bow, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, okay, well, this is going to be great. So I was like, perfect. I guess I'm ready to go. So I put in, a couple thousand arrows out of them before the provincial championships, and was like, I'm only taking these arrows. This is it. I'm going to take them and I'm going to run with it. And they performed perfectly.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking a look at their website now. I put a lot.
And the Canadian. Come on.
Yeah,
Canadian
I know. Hey, I would support them. I would support them for sure.
They're a fantastic company. They focus a lot more on the hunting end of things than target, but I'd love to help change that for them.
There you are, right there. Yeah. Oh, good. That's good, man. They're supporting you. You're supporting them. I love it. Okay, cool. I will check these guys out. I don't necessarily have anything to lose on arrows, but that would be cool. And yeah, that's cool. No, thanks for letting me know about those guys. That's pretty cool. Killing Sticks. Okay. All right. What's a piece of advice you give? Okay. So let's talk about your career though. First, we'll touch a little bit more on that. So, from the most recent to wherever you want to go, because we'll brag a little bit. Let's brag a little bit. I mean, it's not Canadians aren't good at this. I know, but let me give it. So the ones I saw, you got two online. You got two Canadian records.
I got 3 Canadian national records right now, Canadian Open records. Yeah. So I actually won both or all 3 of those records within a 2-week span. I 2 different tournaments within 2 weeks. I took the 35, it's what's called the Canadian 900 round. So you shoot 30 arrows at 35 meter, 45 meter, and 55 meter. So you do 30 arrows at each of those rounds, and then your cumulative score. So I like records. I like the thought of it and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to chase these guys down, see what I can do. The record had stood since 2005. So I was like, okay, 16 years this record's been hanging around for. That's pretty good. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get there. So, you keep practicing. So I ended up getting the 35 meter record my first try at it. I told my local tournament, let's put a shoot on. I'm ready. I've got a record in me. I know I'm going to get one for our club. That's how I think about it. Like it's a record for the club. It's a record for Vancouver Island. So a local getting a national record. That's what I wanted. Awesome. So yeah, so I did it. My first time getting it, I hit the 35 meter record. I shot a 277 out of 300. So it was a good solid record. It felt really good. It was easy. So it's like, okay, I've still got more in me, 2 weeks later, we had another outdoor tournament for the same 900 round. And I ended up breaking the 45 meter record and the overall total score record as well, too. So I shot a 264 for 45 meters and then ended up with a 789 out of 900 for the total round. And I only missed the 55 meter record by 1 point. So I'm like, that started the round off, because you start off at the furthest distance and you work your way in. So I started off at 55. I missed it by 1 point. I was like, I was so close. I'm like, okay, I got to get the 45 meter now. So I did that, and then I shot well for the 35 meter as well too. And I ended up getting the full total score as well too that round.
Oh man, that's good. Congratulations, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing.
The
And
craziest thing about that whole tournament was that was our hottest day of the year. It was 43 degrees outside, 43 Celsius.
yeah,
So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm pretty sure it was hot. So 43, 80,
it's
112.
112 degrees. Yeah, 120 degrees. No, double it and add 32. Double and add 30 at that.
Yeah. So 40,
Yeah.
84, 94, 104, 114, 116.
Yeah, something like that. Sure.
Quick. Yeah. It was hot, and we all talked about before we started the tournament, we're like, do we really want to put this tournament on, because it was the hottest day of the year? And I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. You've been practicing. Just sweat rolling off you.
Yeah. Oh man. When I say it was hot, it was hot. Like, it was really, really, really hot. Like, you're standing out underneath the beating sun. There's nowhere to get away from it. It was hot. No wind, no nothing. But, everything, just try and regulate your temperature all day and stay hydrated. And yeah, I ended up breaking 2 records that day. So another fun part of the story for me.
Pretty amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then just recently you first place gold in
Senior men's barebow for indoor archery for the BC Provincial Championships. And then I also took the silver medal for senior men's longbow as well too. So I was like, well, if you're going to compete, you might as well compete in 2 different categories. It was 11-hour drive for me to get up there. So I'm like, if I'm doing this much drive, I'm going to compete. I'm going to do 2 different competitions. Why not? So I just shot 2 competitions back to back.
We should talk about your longbow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your longbow. What are you shooting?
My longbow is a custom build from Bert's Bows. It's a local bowyer, Greg Burtwhistle. He's been building bows for longer than most of us have been alive. And he's what originally got me into the whole traditional scene of things from compound. I wanted a longbow that I could play around with. And of course, I want to support local. So for me, it's like, okay, I can't get more local than a guy in our club. Yeah. So he built me it's a 46-pound longbow. Its name is Bloodline. I give him a bunch of extra wood that I have because I also do woodworking for all my chef's knives. I would rehandle my chef's knives and make my own custom wood handles. So I had some unique pieces of wood that I really liked, and he incorporated those pieces of wood into my longbow. So he had it ready for me for my first gold medal that I won with that bow back in 2019. He got the bow ready to me about a month before the indoor championships. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I got a month to practice with this bow. I should be good.
Yeah, man.
I train a lot, right? Like, I get up at 3 a.m. 5 days a week to train, whether it's at the gym or I'm shooting. 3 a.m. Yeah.
What? Why? What's going on? That's crazy.
There's only so much time in a day. So
I know. Do you sleep? Do you sleep at all?
Kinda. Some people might beg to differ. Like, I go to bed like 10 o'clock. So I get like 5 hours sleep.
That is not enough, my friend. That is not enough. You need more sleep. You're fit. You look fit. You're fine. And you look at that beard. That beard is, half of you. I mean, that's some character on that one. That's a good beard. You got a good beard going too.
I don't know. You guys help me for in the trad and barebow end of things. So no, I'm 44 this year, so I do pretty good. I stay healthy as best you can, and I don't need sleep, I guess.
It's crazy. Okay, where were we? So I wanted to ask about your longbow. So 46 pounds, not on the fingers. Is it 46 on the fingers?
46 on the fingers. Yeah.
Okay. I guess when you're shooting wood arrows, right, they got to get there.
Yeah, I shoot everything from, I've got a 35-pound longbow that I had Ian Fair at Partridge Creek. He's a bowyer as well too. He made me a longbow. It's a 3-piece, so I can't compete with it. And I've got 3 sets of limbs with that one, 35, 45, and 60. And then he also made me, well, he didn't make me, he had a boo-boo bow, he calls it. It was a 90-pound recurve. So I shoot that 90-pound as well too. So I I shoot a little bit of everything. So 46 pounds is like, that's a warm up weight once you start shooting a 90-pound.
So when are we gonna see you at like one of these ones in one of these big tournaments? Or did you go to Vegas? You sound like you
No,
went to Vegas. You didn't do the Vegas shoot?
no, I've been trying to kind of for the last couple of years, but just now with everything going on with COVID
COVID?
and going on, it was even tough to like get down to see Frank at the Barebow Project seminar in Reno. Like that was even and even then that was October. Things were loosening up, but even that was tough. So um, I'm hoping this next year coming up, I should be able to get to Vegas, and I want to do the Lancaster shoot. Like I want to do all these fun shoots that I see all these guys you keep interviewing go to.
I know.
I want to go hang out with them. You know, I've seen some of the video chats, and I text some of them or message some of them online and stuff like that. But I want
Yeah.
to go down there. I want to shoot.
Yeah, I want you to. I would love to see that. I would love, yeah. And I bug Melnick all the time to get down, like not all the time, but like, and he's got the same issue, right? He can't travel. I don't know if you know Alex.
We've messaged through online and stuff like that, and we follow each other on Facebook, or not Facebook, but Instagram and all that kind of fun stuff. So he's got a lot of good stuff going on. But he's going to be good stiff competition at this tryouts in June.
Oh, is he gonna be at that too?
Yeah, he's there too.
Oh, that'd be fun. I've never seen, you see, that's what I'm saying. You're pretty humble. I don't think I've ever seen. So in all the media that you have, you're not, I don't see you bending a bow in any of those.
No?
I don't think so, dude. You don't put a lot. I mean, you don't put a lot as, I'm saying you should put a lot. There's one, you're bending the bow, but it's your back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you love showing off that bow. I'm going to tell you right now, you're like the biggest fan of the CD risers.
When I first talked to Calvin Duane about the bow, I saw on Instagram a photo that so Tamarack Custom Coatings down in Pennsylvania does the powder coating for CD archery. They do all the powder coating. So yes. I saw a photo that he had on there of another bow. It was the same look as mine, but it was done with blue battle worn instead of the orange battle worn. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like orange a little bit. You'll see by my pictures or anything like that. Yeah. So I was like, man, can you do like an orange battle worn bow? He's like, of course I can. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. So as soon as that thing came in the mail, it blew my mind. So yeah, I kind of love my bow quite a bit. So
it is pretty cool. It's got a great paint job on it.
Yeah, everywhere I go, everybody's like, are you kidding me? Like that thing is unreal. And it looks even more amazing in person too. He put such a nice touch on it. And that orange, just stunning.
It is pretty good. I'm gonna say it's pretty good. Yeah, I love it. It looks really, 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 really nice. Are you a high grip on that thing?
This one that I have right now, this is the John Demmer Barebow grip.
I love that.
It's medium. And it's got that nice little gummy bit you put in your palm. Like I had an Archery before that I really, really loved. That was a low grip and it was really nice, but I just wasn't getting enough grip on it. And as soon as I started seeing people talk about the John Demmer Barebow grip, and I knew that it was coming with that little gummy wedge, I was like, oh man, that's it. As soon as I put it on my bow, I was like, oh, I'm sold. Like it was meant for me. Yeah.
I hate to say anything nice about John Demmer, but
most people do.
The grip is fantastic, man. It's really good. It's really good.
Rate everything about it. I'm like, oh man, that's so good. I wish I came up with that. Like,
I know if you own a bow that's like a Barebow or anything like that, or that you can change a grip on, you try and get a John Demmer grip, JD3 grip. They're
grip is unreal. I let everybody touch it any chance they get to. I'm like, have a feel on my bow, see what this thing feels like. Just the angles, the geometry, everything on it. It's just really, really, really good. I've tried all kinds of different stuff. The CD bow, when you get it, it comes with a Jaeger grip. It was really good, but it was just too narrow. I got big meaty hands, so I was a chef for so many years holding knives and stuff. Yeah. So I wanted a meatier grip on it, and it's just wider through the bottom profile. The CD grip that the Jaeger has with it was a great, comfortable grip, but it was too thin for my hand. But I found out that it has that same gumminess on the hand that goes into the palm, and it's just amazing.
It is amazing. Hey, this is supposed to be a quick shot. We're supposed to be just really short
yeah.
and get to know people. But hey, I still need you to give us one piece of advice that, a beginner could use to kind of, what's a something special or magical that you're like, man, this really changed things for me.
Yeah. The big thing, have fun. You got to have fun with it. You shouldn't be like reminding yourself to have fun with it. Whatever you want to do with archery, go for it. Like I threw all my chips on the table and just was like, I really want this. You got to, when people say put in the work, it's no joke. Like, how bad do you want it? I get up at 3 a.m. That's how bad I want it. I quit my career as a chef. That's how bad I want it. How bad do you want it? Are you going to have fun with it all the time? Like you really enjoy it. You got to be passionate. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit passionate.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's so good. I love when people match my energy. It's fantastic. Like, I think you're like 10 times above me, and I'm crazy about stuff. Yeah. Hey, champ. Let's end it there. I want to get your details out so people can follow you. They can message you and maybe ask you some questions. How can they get hold of you? How do they get hold of you?
Through Instagram is probably the easiest way to do all that. BS Archery. Just like my initials, BS, and then Archery. I got people all the time messaging me, asking me about gear. I do a lot of gear study and finding out about products and testing and all this kind of stuff. So I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm always willing to experiment and try some things out. So I always get people messaging me, asking me what setups are and stuff like that. I love it.
So it's BSS Archery?
Just BS.
Just BS Archery. Okay, BS Archery.
BSS.
Okay. Or look for, you can also find you by
head. You can't miss it.
No. Hey, you're a handsome fella. And you look great with that beard. It looks amazing. Hey, everyone, thanks for sticking around and listening to Billy and I chat a little bit. I don't know if I need to put a translator on this because of our Canadianisms that we've had, but so, hey, just be safe out there, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time. All right, take care.